Hello, hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to this episode of Chiquis and Chill. So, what do me, Albert Einstein, Frida Kahlo, and Michelle Obama have in common? Any guesses? Okay, I'll tell you. We all journal. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. I've been doing it for years, and it's been such an outlet for me, and I want to share it with you guys. So, let's get started. So what is journaling? Let me explain real quick what journaling is. Journaling is an intentional practice of writing down your thoughts, emotions, your prayers, your dreams, and reflections. There is no one way to do it, and it's not all about perfect grammar or fancy notebooks. It is about truth and expression. Okay? Journaling is also a way of integrating. What does that mean? Basically reflecting. I have been doing it a lot, especially since I went through like this spiritual detox or retreat, whatever it is that we want to call it, because I there's a word for it and I can't remember right now. But one thing my spiritual teacher told me was integrate. And I was like, okay, wait, what do you mean? She's like, make sure that you write down, which is journaling, write down what visions, what feelings you had, because you're going to forget. And it's crazy because I'll look back on my journals from years ago, and I'm not telling you I journal every day because I'd be lying if I did. And I'm not going to tell you that for the, 15 plus years I've been doing it. Actually more. Oh my gosh, more. I'm not going to tell you that I have all my journals or that I did it continuously because, again, I'd be lying. I write here and there for like months and then I just fall off. I feel like it's normal, but I will tell you that journaling has really, in some ways, saved my life. It is a form of therapy. And it's nice to look back, kind of like my spiritual teacher said, you're going to forget, so make sure you write things down. It's nice to look back and read some of the things. I just did this the other day. I came across a journal that I had put away, and I wish I would have brought it so I could read it to you guys. Maybe I'll share it on Sincerely Janae. But anywho, I was so relieved when I read it and I'm like, thank God I'm not in that place anymore. And I think writing it down, there's a power in writing things down, especially with a pencil on a piece of paper that helps you just release things. Like you're releasing emotions that we suppress or that we can't tell anyone. And right now, when I was thinking, I was like, how long have I been journaling? Is because I used to have a diary. So that's also journaling, guys. We need to go back to diaries, which is why I like doing Dear Chiquis and I like doing Sincerely Janae, because it's a way of now it's where this is the new age, and everything is technology. So it's just basically releasing and in a way surrendering. And it felt so nice to just say, wow, I'm not there anymore. And I'm glad. And even with prayer, people think, oh my gosh, with prayer, like, I don't know how to talk to God. And it doesn't have to sound all pretty the way they do it at church. And no, it's the same thing with journaling, guys. Like you don't have to have perfect grammar. Your penmanship doesn't have to be perfect. If you want to use the notes in your phone, that's fine. I've done it. I do it. But for me, just having that time of no phone, because you will be distracted with your phone. I will. So that's why I'm like, I'd rather just do it in a notebook with a pencil. I want to practice writing, but it doesn't have to be pretty. I don't have the best penmanship, guys. I really don't. I forgot how to write cursive. They don't even teach it in school anymore, apparently. So it's not pretty. It's not meant to be pretty. This is for you. And it's for you to be honest, for you to be raw. It is a form of therapy. And that's why, even if it's just something short, today I'm not feeling good. Or today I'm really happy. I'm having a really good day. And of course, writing down the date. I even like writing down the time. And sometimes even describing where I am. Okay, I'm at home today. I'm on my bed. Just to take me back to that moment when I'm rereading it. There are some entries that I won't ever read again. It just all depends. But anyway, I like doing the time, the date, and Sometimes it's elaborate. Sometimes I'm like, I go off on a tangent. I'm just like, "Brrr," and sometimes it doesn't even make sense, but I'm just writing what's coming and it's just coming out and it's just helping me release and surrender it on that piece of paper so that I could just feel better. And sometimes it's just a happy one. And that's good too. You need those. And a lot of people have asked me, like, how do I even start? I would probably tell you, start with what are you grateful for? And I know you guys have heard this before because I do feel like people are talking about it a lot more on social media, like journaling and writing down 3 things that you're grateful for. I'm sure you can find 3 things. And there's no, again, no right or wrong way to do it. It's just doing it and taking the time for yourself. It's part of self love. I like to do it in the morning. I like to do it really early in the morning, even sometimes before the sun comes out. Before I meditate usually, and then I meditate because I like to meditate on what I wrote down, whatever it could be. It could be something about me just in a way complaining about something that happened or about someone. And I've tried it at night, but usually at night I like to unwind. Maybe you're the type of person that wants to do it at night, and that's totally fine. Whatever works best for you. What I like to do at night, instead of like writing something down, I like to ask myself, okay, how was today? Is there anything I could have done differently? Do I have to apologize to someone tomorrow for, I don't know, maybe I snapped or whatever? I just like to kind of replay quickly in my mind, but maybe you can do it journaling, whatever it is that works for you. I personally, like I said, I like to just start my day off that way. Some days I do it, some days I don't. Sometimes I go weeks without journaling and then I miss it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, wait, because it helps you release. And the reason I keep saying release, guys, is because I just talked about it on Instagram about releasing, about us carrying around a backpack full of rocks or bricks, whatever you want to call it. And each brick is resentment, anger, could be happiness. But usually, if it's heavy, they're negative emotions. And we have this backpack on and we're trying to just live our life. And we have to learn to surrender and we have to learn to release. And I'm reading a book on it and I'm going to share. It's called Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender. Okay. And it's by David Hawkins, just in case you guys want to look it up. But he's giving me a visual. I've always known the importance of releasing and surrendering. I've always, I know that, but now it's something more tangible in a way. I guess more visual because it's not tangible. But anyway, back to the backpack. We're carrying this backpack. We're going around the world trying to smile. And as we are carrying all of this, trying to work out, trying to just live. But we have this damn backpack on our back and it's heavy. And what we have to do is take it off and set it down and release it. And journaling is a way of doing that. You're leaving it on that piece of paper. Usually for me, when I'm journaling, I'm talking about like just reflecting on the day, reflecting on what I want, writing down my manifestations. A lot of the time is me writing down my negative emotions and how I'm feeling. And I'm like, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to leave it on this piece of paper. I'm going to release it. I'm going to surrender it to the universe, to God. I'm going to walk away, close my journal, and leave it and go on with my day. And just by thinking and verbalizing that and doing that action, it has helped me. It's been a part of helping me survive, helping me just keep my, head above water when I feel like the world is going to swallow me. And I know we've all had those moments. So that's why I wanted to talk about journaling, because a lot of people ask and they don't know, how do I start? How do I even do it? And it's, again, however, your phone, a notebook in the morning, at night, one sentence, a whole page full of just words. If you want to talk about happy things, if you want to talk about sad things, if you want to say, I am so pissed today, write that down. We need to kind of like get used to documenting our feelings because they come and go so quickly. We tend to forget certain things, that having that piece of paper, that notepad, our notes to go back to in our phone to help us remember certain things. Like I started writing down when I was in a really bad relationship. I would write down a lot of the mean things that he would do to me. And I know this sounds weird, But it got to the point where it was just really bad and so toxic for me because I started realizing I'm forgetting. I'm forgetting some of the really shitty things this person has done to me. And I keep going back and I keep forgiving. And some of these things are really not cool. And I could forgive, but I shouldn't forget. So I would go back and I would write them down. Dude, I had so many things that when I went back and I thought I want to get back with him or I miss him, I read these things and I was like, okay, Janae, yeah, absolutely not. We're not going back. Because I was just in survival mode. And I'm like, I need to get through this day. So I would forget. And they say that people that have gone through a lot of trauma tend to forget, are very forgetful. Now it makes sense. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I forget a lot of things, and I have to jot everything down. I'm a note taker. I love Post-it notes. I love writing things down. So I had to do that with this relationship and it helped me let go of this person. Another suggestion in your journal, if you're dating someone that you're not sure of, make a list. Write the person's name down, write the good things, all the pros, and then the cons. And then you check to see what weighs more, the good things or the bad things. And that'll help you make a decision and keep going back. And if you have it written down, it will remind you. There's something powerful about just seeing it as you're writing, you're not realizing, but then you stop and you look at the piece of paper and you're like, oh my gosh. And be brutally honest, guys. It is so important to be honest with yourself. Again, no one should be reading this. Anyone that's around you, even if it's a partner, if they are looking into your stuff without your permission, especially your journal/diary, that's a red flag. Just saying. You should be able to have your journal and know that whoever's around and lives in your home, they're not going to touch it without you even having to say it. Just, letting you know that. But if you need to hide it, hide it. I used to hide my diary from my mother and she found it and it got me in a lot of trouble. That's a whole other episode. But if you need to hide it, hide it. But this is for you. And the point is you being completely 100% honest with yourself, especially if right now therapy doesn't fit in the budget, journal. Journal, it will help you. Read a freaking book. Read this book that I'm reading. Or The Higher Self, which is another book that I'm also reading that I've told you guys about. Anyway, this is a great way of therapy. So that also helped me. And the person that taught me to do that was my mother. My mom was also like a note taker, a doodler. Like when she was on the phone, she would doodle a lot. I think it would just help her process things. And one time I was in her office and I saw a piece of paper and she wrote down the pros and the cons of her relationship at the time. And then at the end, she said, now that I'm looking at this piece of paper, now that I have something tangible to look at, I know that this relationship is not for me. I was trying to trick my mind and my heart into being with this person. But now that it's written down, I see clearly. And that's when she left him and got married and the whole thing. But there's something about having something on a piece of paper that's tangible because thoughts and feelings, they come and go and they're just, you can't see them and you just feel them. But if you have them written down, you almost feel like, oh, I get to see it. I get to feel this piece of paper. I get to feel my phone. I see it. Like it just changes things, guys. So that's why I'm a huge advocate for journaling. And what if you have just all kinds of happy days? That's awesome. And you're just so grateful and you're so optimistic and everything is going great in your life. That's awesome. But also do it, and I mainly do it when I'm not feeling that great. But these are also other types of journaling: daily reflections, gratitude journaling, faith or prayer journaling. I did that one for years. Faith and prayer journaling. I had a long list of people and things that I wanted to pray for. I did that for years, guys. So faith and prayer journaling is awesome. Letters to your inner child. I've done that. I just did that recently. I made one also for my future baby. Super healing, guys. Dream journaling, manifestation journaling as well. What are your aspirations? If you don't want to do a whole vision board, you could, write it down on a piece of paper. And this is a way of manifesting it, So dream and manifestation journaling, amazing. And like I said earlier, be brutally honest with yourself. You can cry without judgment because there are times, and this was years ago, I think when I wrote down these things in my notes about this particular person, I cried. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was kind of in a way, being judgmental with myself because I was like, how did you put up with this for so long? And now I know when they say love is blind, that's what they mean. you know, I thought I loved this person very much and I just was excusing things. The thing is I also was not loving myself enough. So I cried, but cry without judgment, guys. And it's a good way of hearing your own voice again. Sometimes we don't hear ourselves because there's so much, we're so busy. We're out in the world just working and studying and whatever it is that we get so busy that we forget to listen to our inner voice, to listen to God's voice, to listen to ourself. It's crazy. Like when you think about it that way, you're like, this is me. I'm writing this down. It's my me time. It's my self-love time, my reflection time. And it's a way of listening to yourself, of giving yourself that space, that time. When I started seeing journaling that way, where I'm like, this is for me, I'm giving that little girl, my inner child, that teenager, the adult woman, like the time. The way I give my time to other people, I deserve that time, you know? So there's something really special about that, about hearing your own voice again, is also a way to talk to God. It could be, dear God. It could even be that. You know, like I want to write a letter to God, or I'm in a journal and I just need to address it to someone. So I'm going to God, to my inner child, to my future self. That's also very powerful. And this is also a way of also letting go of things that you're not ready to say out loud, that you don't want to tell anyone. And I never showed anyone that list of just things of this person, or that, you know, I probably wouldn't even share it with anyone. To me, it's like a little embarrassing, you know? But now I guess I probably could, because I'm like, well, I healed it. I just wouldn't want to do that to him. Because, you know, some of you might know who I'm talking about. I've had a couple ex-boyfriends, but anyway, it's a way of letting go of things that, yeah, you're not ready to tell anyone or to say out loud. And this is a way of just expressing it. And I always say, let go, let God. For me, this is a way of letting go and letting God and just putting it on that piece of paper and surrendering it. We all go through things. We all have like even feelings that come out of nowhere. I mean, I could be having an amazing day and I'm such an empath that I feel other people's sadness or their mood. And I'm trying and I'm learning to navigate through that and not make other people's feelings my own, because sometimes I'm hit and I'm like, I'm having such a good day. And then my heart feels sad. And I'll do this now out loud, thanks to this book, where I'm like, I release this sadness that I feel in my chest. I release it. I release it. I release it. I shake it off. And I'm like, oh, God, I surrendered to you. And if I have time, I'll write a quick note. And I'm like, I was feeling sad. I don't know what it's about, but maybe later we'll figure it out together. And I just leave it there. And then sometimes I find out and sometimes I don't. Most of the time I do. Now I'm like, I backtrack and I'm like, okay, wait, where did I get this? Where did I pick this up? Is it my own sadness? Is it someone else's sadness? But writing it down helps me. It's kind of like, okay, I'm writing it down. I'm leaving it here. And speaking of letting go, guys, I have burned letters to myself, to other people. Like, for instance, I won't say names, but there was a person in my family, extended family, that I'd be willing to talk to, but they don't want to talk to me, which is fine. And what I did was I wrote it on a piece of paper, what I wanted to tell this person. And I addressed it to them. This is also journaling, guys. Again, it could be a letter to someone. It could be a letter to yourself. So I wrote this letter to the person, and it was something that was bothering me. And I apologized for my doing. And I also forgave this person without them having to ask me. And I burned it. I said, okay, I believe in this. Like, you fold the page away from you 2 to 3 times. And then you can either bury it, you can burn it, you can flush it down the toilet, whatever way you feel of like releasing and letting go. And I did that. I just burned it. I have like this little bowl, this special bowl that I bought at a spiritual store. And I burned it and I felt better. I felt just like, okay, it's gone. I spoke to this person and it's in the universe. And hopefully one day they want to talk to me. If they don't, I'm fine with it. So I have done that. I have done that with some of my journals from, I think it was one that I found a couple years ago. It was like my 2008 journal. Crazy, right? Because it was in my storage. And I kind of looked and skimmed through it. I was like, ooh, yeah, I've grown so much. I was like, oh, okay, we're not there anymore. Cool. It's been a decade, like almost a decade. I burned it. I was like, I don't want anyone to find it. I don't want to like shred it. It's like, I'm just going to burn it. I like to burn my stuff. Be very safe, guys. Okay, very safe, please. But, just for future reference, if you decide to do that or not, or you can keep them forever, whatever you decide to do. Now that I think about it, probably could have made a like pretty cool book of all my entries. Maybe I'll do that. Oh my gosh. Oh, or maybe I can start writing like a journal for my baby. Wow, maybe I could do that and then show it to the baby when it's born. Oh my gosh. I just thought about that right now. Anyway, I think you guys get the point. And I think it's a very important and beautiful thing to do as part of your self-care routine. And just to conclude everything, we're going to recap here. We talked a lot about this already, but these are the benefits of journaling, okay? Emotional release. You stop bottling things up, okay? Stop suppressing, repressing, okay? Self-awareness. You begin to understand your triggers and patterns. That's what was happening with, that guy. Triggers and patterns, yep. Healing. You create space to process pain and give it a voice. Ooh, girl. Growth tracking. You get to see how far you have come. I just did that the other day by reading, one of my entries for last year. Creative clarity. You unlock new ideas and solutions. Especially for like my writing camp and my poems. It's just been so great with journaling. Oh my goodness. Goal setting. Writing down what you want makes it feel more real. That is so big for me. That is part of my manifestation, writing things down. It helps me get things done. It's just things that I'm like, oh, they seem unreachable. No, not when you write it down and you really set the intention. You know what I mean? Spiritual connection. You start hearing God more clearly. I start feeling God in my heart. It's like my inner voice, guys. It's true. Freedom to be real. No one is watching, just you and the page. And I think that's it. The 8. Yep. And I chose 8 because 8's my favorite number. So those are 8. So that's it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this episode and thank you for listening. I love you and I appreciate you. And I'll catch you here on the next episode of Chiquis and Chill. Okay? Love ya. This is a production of iHeartRadio and the My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcast and follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast.